What's up, y'all? Welcome to Renisha's Space. Over here, I let others right over the mic while I'm making social media my pulpit. All I want to do is encourage you to be everything I was encouraged you to be, even when others don't agree. So I know it's super loud. You all probably can't hear me well. I need to wash my hair, which is why I have this hat on. It was either this or a ponytail, huh? And I have time to jump my hair down, so ignore that. But I wanted to kind of talk about something that I discussed on Clubhouse last night, and I didn't mean to say the name, but oh well. So I did my first, I don't even know what you call it. I hosted a room, or I don't know, a discussion. I'm new, so I don't even know the proper terminology for it yet, but the title of the room was Overcoming the Pressure to Get Married. And I was coming from the perspective, I'm pretty sure that's where my friend lives. Because every time I pass by there, I'm like, that looks just like her community. But anyway, I was talking from the angle of growing up in the church, a super strict church, and being pressured into getting married. Now, one thing about me, you may try, but Renisha is not going to do anything that she does not want to do. Even with that whole peer pressure thing, I think I was probably more of the one doing the pressuring than the one falling victim or prey or whatever to peer pressure. So I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do. And that's on period. That's on Winnie the Pooh. That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb or whatever. I'm sleepy, you all. So yeah, I was just talking about how, even society puts a pressure on women, but in the church, and one of my friends pointed out that the black church, it's like a pressure to get married. Like, you have to get married by this age. You graduate from high school and we don't even really care about college because Jesus is coming back anyway, right? You're going to be caught up to meet him. So college, whatever, but you need to get married. You need to get married and you need to have kids. And if you don't do that by a certain age, something is wrong with you. We need to talk to you to see what's happening. Are you gay? Oh, I shouldn't have said that because I heard YouTube has like some new rules, and when you say certain terms, I don't know if they delete your stuff. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to research that. But yeah, it's almost like, oh, something has to be wrong with you if you're not married by a certain age. So I was giving them my testimony about how I know a lot of females. I've heard a lot of women talk about how when they were younger, they would think about their wedding and wedding dresses, and even as a child, and I'm just like, that was not my testimony. Now, I used to play with doll babies and stuff. I had a doll house. I had little kitchen sets. I'm super prissy. I had all of that stuff, but baby, let me tell you, I was not thinking about marriage. When I take my glasses off, I cannot see. Do you all get tired of me? Y'all know how my brain works, right? I'll be here one minute, down there the next, up there. Then I'll be talking about that happened on the East Coast. Then we're going to go all the way to the West Coast. Then we're going to go to Africa and come back, y'all. But that wasn't my testimony. And I told them how, oh my God. I told them how I was even in my early to mid 20s when the Lord had to talk to me for real about marriage, because I was just like looking at the marriages I saw in the church, and I was like, if this is what marriage is, I don't want it. I'm good. We cool. I don't want it if this is what it is. So he had to talk to me. He was like, Renisha, you cannot base your marriage on what you have seen in the church. So when he started talking about me, I probably was like 24, 25-ish. And that's when I was like, okay, well, maybe I do want to get married that one day. Then at that point, here I go. I'm like, I never wanted to get married early. To each his or her own. It works for who it works for. If you did, phenomenal. But I never wanted to get married early. However, I'm like, well, if I'm supposed to get married and have kids, I don't want to have kids after 30, because when my child graduates from high school, I want to look a certain type of way. These are the conversations. These are real life conversations that I've had with myself. And if you've been following me for any length of time, something like that probably doesn't shock you, okay? So that was the only reason, though. That was my only reason for wanting kids or a kid before 30, because I wanted to look a certain way. I didn't want to look old at my child's high school graduation. So I was like, well, I don't want a baby out of wedlock, so I guess I got to get married before I'm 30 because I want to have a child. I don't want to have kids after 30. This is all the stuff I had going on in my head. So I was with somebody when I don't even know the age, but maybe 2012 to 2014, that was probably my most serious relationship. We had our wedding planned out and everything. That didn't work out, as you can see. I'm still unmarried, so when we broke up, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not getting married. And I mean, there are some other things that play a role in the thought process that I had. But after that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not getting married, because I was already told X, Y, and Z. And now this is happening to me. I just don't want you to swerve over in front of me, sir, in your truck. Hold on, y'all. I was like, this is happening to me. Like, nah, bruh, we good. I'm not gonna get married, period. So I wrote it off once again forever. Now, I did say, y'all probably gonna judge me, I don't care. I was like, well, because me and that person talked about having a little boy. He wanted a little boy. I don't like little girls. If you have little girls, don't be offended. I have nieces and I love them. But at the end of the day, if I could choose, I don't want any girls. Okay? Now, if the Lord gives me one, fine, phenomenal. I pray that they're healthy and da-da-da, and they won't deal with rejection and all of that. But he wanted a little boy. I wanted a little boy. So I was like, okay, well, we talked about just having a baby together. And I know y'all gonna judge me, but I don't care. Okay. So some females do the artificial insemination thing. I know people who have done that. That's not really my thing. I know people who have done who've had friends, females that were, I guess, passing the age that they wanted to have a baby or whatever. So they had friends that they trusted, blah, 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 that they talked to. They decided to have a baby with them, whatever. So I talked to my ex, and we were talking about having a baby together. I knew he was a good father. I wasn't worrying about him not taking care of his child. If he didn't take care of his child, that was cool too. But I wasn't worried about all of that. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, just because he was a good father to this one, doesn't mean he's not gonna be. But he's a good man in general. So I wasn't worried about that. But you're right. Anybody can flip at any day. So whatever, we didn't do that. I think I'm glad we didn't. I like being kid free. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm glad we didn't do that. But if we did, whatever. So I went through that whole phase. The Lord brought me on through that. But there's still, and like I said in the room last night, it's always like the single auntie who never got married that's on you about getting married. When you gonna get married? When you gonna have some kids? You're getting old. Your biological clock is ticking. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yo, just take it to the left. And I was listening to a Clubhouse yesterday when the lady, she said, when people try to tell you your biological clock is ticking, tell them you serve the God that created your uterus. What you mean? What you mean? Now I know that there are some people that are still 40s, maybe even 50s, that want kids, to each his or her own. Now that's not necessarily my testimony, but my sister, unless she's changed, she's like 51 or 52, I don't know, she doesn't look it. She wants twins. I know when she turned 50, she was still wanting twin girls. And I'm like, you're bugging. Because she only had one boy. She had one boy, and then she has a granddaughter. But I was just like, you're bugging. And don't ask me to do anything. I'll babysit every now and then, but I'm not going to put my life on hold to take care of your kids. But yeah, she still wanted twin girls and could have them. This is not my exit. But I just think, with all the pressure, especially if you grew up in a strict church. Somebody even brought up a point of how some people marry as a way of escaping. I was talking about somebody I know, which I don't want to go into details because I don't want them to see the video and feel some type of way. But I know somebody I know that was, the church they were in was strict. Their parents, specifically their father, was strict. And they married just to get out of that situation. And I don't even think they're together anymore. I could go into more detail, but I won't. But I don't want any of that to be my testimony, and I've never wanted to be that woman who got married to use a man as a bailout plan. That's not my thing. Like, I don't want to get married so I can have a seat at the table. I want me and my husband to combine tables. I don't just want to be sitting at his. I've heard stories about women who got married and the man had to pay all of this debt off for them. That's just not my testimony, y'all. That's not what I want. So, last year, and I think I may have told you all this before, last year when I started going through the worst anxiety I've ever dealt with in my life and things like that, Holy Spirit was like, baby girl, you cannot get married like this. And he started pointing out so many things, so many internal issues that I wasn't aware of or that I thought I had dealt with that would have been detrimental to my marriage. But I think the more, and I was saying this last night, the more God secures my identity in him, the less I feel pressure to get married. I don't even feel the pressure anymore. Honestly, I just don't. I want to be married, yeah, but I just don't feel the pressure to do it. I'm like, if it happens, cool. And if it doesn't, that's another conversation that me and God have been having. I won't share it with you all. But, I'm cool. At this point, a few weeks ago, I was even driving and thinking, I was like, God, I don't know if I really want to be married. I know I have to be careful with the words that I speak, but that's what I told him. I was like, do I really? I was, talking to him and questioning myself. I was like, do I really want to be married? But I think that's because of there's still a fear. And I don't want to get into all of that because I don't even want to make this video that long. But yeah, let me know if you all have ever felt pressured to get married, specifically females. Some males though, because I've had men come talk to me and tell me what they were told by the preacher or the pastor about how they need to get married and stuff like that. So it's not just the child. I'm not. Y'all praying for me in this road rage? Okay, y'all ain't praying hard enough. But I've even had men talk to me about that. So, let me know if you all have ever felt any type of pressures, whether it was from the church, society, or what. Let me know how you overcame it. Have you overcome it? Have you overcome the pressure yet? Do you have issues with being vulnerable? One of my friends yesterday shared something which I don't want to share on here because it was so, extremely intimate. But she shared something, and it's kind of, I guess, keeping her from even being vulnerable and being able to trust when it comes to marriage. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. This is me signing off. That's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, read the stuff in the description box. Any question you have, you probably can find it in my description box. All right, love y'all. Bye.